Hey there, let's talk about home-based business supersizing strategies. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I actually love home-based businesses. I've been working exclusively from my home and my home office since 2016. Now my home office has changed because I've moved, but for the most part, I've always had an office in my home for a lot of reasons. I always had side hustles and side businesses since I was 13. I've had a business on the side. Well, and a quarter century of that, I worked simultaneously in corporate America, primarily in the executive suite and the quality function, meaning I could stick my fingers in everybody's business and know and understand the strategy and the systems and the processes throughout the entire organization. And I did that intentionally because I always wanted to have my own businesses and know how they work from the inside out, the good, the bad, the ugly, what worked, what didn't work, so that I would know what to do in my own businesses. Just because I always had, in addition to working for corporations, a business of my own that I was running at least one at a time, usually many at a time. So home-based businesses, I think COVID, and I don't thank COVID because I was doing it before COVID, but COVID has made it really a lot easier for not only people to work from home. Remote work has always been a great option, but it hasn't been particularly culturally acceptable, at least not in the United States and in a lot of other countries and areas of the world where it was a badge of honor to go into work every day. I got to tell you, there's no badge of honor of spending 3 to 4 hours in traffic every single day. And I did that in a couple of my corporate jobs, but I used that as my university on wheels. And I listened to educational material, or I planned and strategized, or was on the phone back when, when cell phones actually came into being. Remember, we didn't used to always have cell phones either. Uh, I used that time, the commuting time, as my quiet time to plan and create and project and work on my businesses instead of in them. So you build a home-based business the same way you build any business. A lot of businesses start out in the home. They start at the kitchen table. They start in the home office. They start, in the garage. Some of the most famous businesses we've all experienced have started in someone's garage because that was a space where they could begin doing what it is that they wanted to do. So usually you have a business idea, or you have a strong desire to create some sort of income for yourself or your family or those you love and care about. And that's part of the reason why you start a business. And one of the first things we want to ask ourselves when we're starting a business, not just what are we going to do and what kind of business are we going to start, but who are we starting it for? Who are we going to sell to? Whose problem are we going to solve? Who is our target audience? Why are we even creating this business in the first place? A lot of businesses start out of just somebody had a good idea and they're like, this needs to be out in the world. And the more passionate we are about our idea, the more involved and sold on that idea we are, the more willing we're to stick to making sure that it succeeds and making sure that our business succeeds. It's really easy to quit things. People are notoriously good at quitting things, but it's the willingness to be resilient and stick to it and solve problems and focus on the solutions and keep going no matter what. Because I can guarantee anyone who starts a business is going to have to overcome more obstacles than you ever even imagined possible. Things that you could not even have imagined will come up and present themselves as problems for you to solve in order to make your home business or any business work. So who's our target audience? Who are we marketing to? Who do we want to sell to? Who do we want to help? Who do we love helping? And it's usually an earlier version of ourselves, right? We've usually solved a problem for ourselves and we're like, oh, I solved that problem for myself and for other people. Therefore, I can definitely sell it to and solve it for other people. We want to pick an area that we have some passion or at least expertise in. It's interesting to me. So many people want to start a business, but they actually want to start it in something totally different than what they've done up until this point. I was no different. I had been in quality and corporate for a long time, as well as running businesses on the side. And when I left that corporate world, the last thing I wanted to do was work in the area of quality or sanitation, or help other businesses do that. Yet that is where I had 25 years of absolute positive total expertise and leadership. Yet I didn't want to do that because it was an area I wanted to transition to something new and do something new. So I guess I'm just like everybody else in that aspect. But the other thing about home-based businesses, we have to consider the same things we would for other businesses. What's the business structure we're going to use? What are the legal things that we need to keep in mind? I would say the first thing we should plan on is selecting what type of a business entity we're going to establishing that as a separate entity from ourselves, and then making sure we get the legal, I'm going to say tax advice. Don't start your business without finding somebody that can help you understand all of the tax laws. And I say that because they're changing all the time, and they're especially changing now. Under this particular administration, they've added like 80,000 tax employees. Guess what? That means it's 80,000 more ways that you can get in trouble if you don't set yourself up right and properly. We have to consider financing. Do you have the financing and the ability to be resourceful and get the financing that you need to do the things you want to do to build the business from home? Make sure that you use automation and tools and document your processes and systems from the very beginning and tweak them along the way, so that you're creating a business that you can actually sell someday if you want to retire or if you want to exit that particular business. Different strategies, all the strategies that I talk about, almost all of them apply to a home-based business as well as any other business, right? Whether you have 100,000 square foot building and facility or a 10 by 10 office in your home, the strategies can work the same, especially in the day and age that we're in now with technology and automation and the ability to outsource pretty much every function of any business you would want to start. So I am curious, do you have a home-based business? Is your business based out of your home? Nowadays, my businesses are all based out of my home because what I do is very different than what I used to do. I worked in manufacturing for a lot of decades. I love manufacturing. I love seeing how things are built. And it's really fun with my granddaughters now to watch them like to take things apart and build things and just see how things work, because that's how I was as a little girl. And I find it fascinating. But share in the comments below your experience with home-based businesses or with working with people that have home-based businesses, because there's a lot of service providers that do things for our businesses that we outsource to that actually work right out of their homes. There's, of course, unique challenges with that, but there's unique challenges in any type business and any structure. There's unique challenges with going into the office every day. There's massive advantages to being able to walk into your office every day from the kitchen or the living room and say, okay, I'm at work. And sometimes with the digital world, there's so many advantages that they outweigh the having to have big structures and overhead, etc. All right, that's all I've got today. I'm obviously rambling. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another strategy you can use to supersize and grow your business. Maybe right now. Have a great day.